So today we have Heritage listed, James. He's from Australia, I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
means
for having me, guys.
a lot, you know, like.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. It's nice to be here.
Yeah. And for, let's say, for start topic, how this like wild adventure that can be making music, how did this like passion started? What was the first thing that you like said, maybe I could like give this a try, or let's early influences as well?
I think what started it for me, like when I guess the journey of actually making music, like kind of where it was just like, like playing instruments or like creating something myself, was when I was like just after I'd finished high school and university. Like, I mean, I did music in high school, like as a subject and everything, but I had a group of friends and we would like just always meet at this same guy's house and just play music together for hours. Like, I had a few friends that would play guitar, like bass, and all these different instruments, right? Like, and that was like the first time when I was like, damn, this is like actually something crazy. You know? Like, it's just like coming from nowhere, like, and it's just in the moment, and you're just creating something with, with all these people, and it was like that moment when I was like, damn, like this is actually something, I could do myself.
You play piano, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
And anything in particular, like a favorite genre, like back then?
Back then, I was listening to a lot of rap, like a lot of rap, a lot of hip hop, like a lot of like 90s hip hop, especially like that kind of like golden era stuff. I was listening to a lot of jazz. I think I've always liked jazz and like indie rock as well.
Great.
Yeah, because like back then, I think like when I first started, I wasn't really listening to that much electronic music. I mean, I was listening to, I guess, stuff that was popular, maybe some like house records here and there, but never like fully like diving in and like really like exploring the genre. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you can like hear those influences in your records, like the jazzy things, like. Yeah. I saw you have like a playlist of also it's called So You Like Jazz or something like that.
Yeah.
It's quite fun. It's quite like
man. Yeah. No, that's a good thing about jazz I like, is that you can just put it on like in a lot of contexts, right? Like if you're just like chilling at home, or like you're with friends, or like you like have your headphones in on the street, like it's versatile, it's nice.
Do you want something to drink? We have a couple of beers if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Gonzalo, can you lend me 2? 3?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. 2, please. Thank you.
Thank you, man. But no, that's a good thing. I feel like the good thing about jazz is you can just enjoy it in so many different contexts with so many different people, right? Like it's such a cool genre in that sense.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Cheers to you as well.
El que no.
But you guys listen to a lot of jazz as well?
No, not really.
What are you guys like mainly, I guess, like listening to? Would you say? Like,
I listen mostly. I mean, I like everything.
He's a huge Pink Floyd fan.
Oh yeah,
Pink Floyd. Oh yeah, man. Pink Floyd, they're insanely good. I love Pink Floyd.
But that's like the easy answer,
The easy listening, you would say.
No, not easy listening, but the easy answer. Steely Dan. I've been really into Steely Dan recently.
Yeah.
But rock as well. Like anything you can jam with, because I enjoy. I enjoy the most like when I'm with other people, like creating stuff. You know, like I love producing like in my own bedroom and all by myself. But I like that. I don't know, like that community of jamming together.
It's
cool. Creating something from nothing, that like spontaneous, like in the moment type of.
I've been, for example, for myself, I've been obsessed all my life with the Strokes.
Oh yeah, they're.
I love them, but right now I'm listening a lot of the late 90s, let's say, like alternative rock or metal, like Smashing Pumpkins and bands like that. Deftones as well, the heavier stuff.
Nice.
But from time to time, with mostly him, Led Zeppelin as well, or stuff more classic rock in that way. But I've always wanted to lean a little bit more on reggae and hip hop, but I don't like find that time, let's say, to listen to records that way. But techno, electronic stuff.
Dub techno, man.
Dub
You
techno.
like dub techno?
Dub tech. I haven't really explored dub techno too much.
Okay.
My knowledge of dub techno is pretty limited, I would
Okay.
say.
Man, yeah.
Is it
It's a really good like warm up.
is it big in Madrid? Dub techno, the dub techno scene. Would you say?
No,
It's
yeah,
just
not really.
a thing that I like
Yeah.
showed him and he
Okay.
like really liked it.
The last 3 months we've been like on a loop of the techno on and off, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
The
Nice.
two other like producers we interviewed, they were like really into the techno.
Okay,
too.
wow.
So yeah.
It's a theory we're trying right now. Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
if it's going like up or
okay. It's the dub techno is on the rise.
yeah, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And when did you realize that this, like, let's say, taking it a little bit more seriously was like really worth it? You know, what's the thing that made you say, oh, okay, I can like really not just make it for fun, but push it a little bit
Yeah.
you
You
know, to the
started
next level.
in 2021, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like I think what kind of pushed me towards like doing this was when COVID when COVID
Oh,
hit everybody, and I was like just at home doing nothing, like
Okay.
just smoking a shit ton of weed,
Yeah,
and
okay,
like
yeah.
and that was when I just started like producing on Ableton like house
Okay.
music, because I was like, oh, I've never really like tried doing like electronic music
Yeah.
before. I've done like rap, like rock,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then like a couple of years later, like after I'd released a couple of records, like people were sending me messages and being like, this is nice, like I really enjoy
Great,
this,
great.
like like send it to me, like I want to
Yeah.
play it out. And I was like, okay, like this is like
Yeah.
people are actually like
Yeah, yeah.
liking the
Yeah.
stuff that I'm making,
That's great.
and I think that early support was like, I was like, okay, cool, like maybe I
It
should try
was
something with this.
that confidence boost, you know, like saying,
Yeah.
okay, my stuff is pretty good, so maybe I can really
Yeah.
give it a shot.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think, like, especially when you start producing, like, even if you have a background in music, like, I mean, you're gonna make like a lot of shit
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
a lot of shit music, because you just like, it's you have to
Yeah, you have to
get a
learn.
feel for like, whatever DAW you're using and so on. So yeah, like from having people support the first things I was releasing, I was just like, wow, like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
felt good, So yeah, as you said, it gave me the confidence boost for sure.
Yeah. Do you think you found your audience right away?
I would think like I feel like what I was looking for when I started is because I always wanted to like at the time when I like started producing, I was like, oh, I want to try living in Europe for a while.
Okay.
Like, so
Yeah, well,
I guess like my like objective was I was like always like following like a lot of artists like who
Okay,
are based in the EU, a lot of producers, a lot
Yeah.
of DJs, and like getting very inspired by that kind of sound.
mhm.
So like I guess like when I first started, I was like, I would really love to like find the audience over here and in Australia,
Okay.
and I guess see where that goes.
Yeah.
What are you listening to right now? Like, what is in your rotation lately, or any artist that you think that it's kind of underrated in your opinion? Would you like to see it maybe have a little bit of more exposure? or-
Yeah. I mean, lately I've been listening to like a lot of like soul music,
Really?
like a lot
Really?
of soul, like
Okay.
from like 70s, like 80s.
Wow.
Like there's this guy from Australia that's like blown up recently, called Don West, and he's from my hometown. He's from my hometown
Okay,
from
okay.
Sydney, and he makes
Okay,
like
from Sydney, yeah.
he makes like music like just like like someone like Marvin Gaye, like
Okay.
like really like 70s, like 80s
Yeah,
soul,
yeah, yeah.
like soul music. But
Yeah,
it's
that's great.
crazy good. So I've been listening to a lot of like soul stuff.
Okay.
And a lot of house, tons of house, because lately I've been like trying to like dig a lot
Okay,
more.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you play mostly on CDJs, or you have also tried on vinyl?
I've tried a bit on vinyl at
I've
friends'
never
places.
played in vinyl. I would love to, but I haven't.
I mean, it's difficult, man. I have a lot of respect for people like
Yeah.
who are, like really like
Yeah.
good at playing vinyl and just have this like super deep record collection.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
That's,
for me, that's like I think that's incredible.
that's
because you have
amazing, really.
this like it's physical relationship with the music as well. Like
Yeah.
you have that collection with you, you take it with you, and then you like.
Yeah.
I think it's impressive. I'd love to do it one day, but at the moment, just CDJs.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, we're kind as well.
We're not enemies of the technology. You know?
yeah.
And when you started, how did you find the first gigs? Did you had any trouble playing at first, or I don't know? Did you like more playing, let's say, back on Sydney or here in Amsterdam or in Paris? That you played recently, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess when I started, so the funny thing is, like, when I started, like, I kind of, like, it was at the tail end of COVID, like, when I released, like, my first track, pretty much. And then there was a thing in Australia where, like, we couldn't leave the country. Like, we weren't allowed to leave. And as soon as we were allowed to leave, I just left. And I just went traveling for, like, a year. And the first time I was, like, properly, like, playing out, I guess, like, after I started the project was, like, in Croatia, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, I found this guy who was just, like, running, like, boat parties. And then I just spent, like, 2 months just, like, playing boat parties there. And then I guess from there, I kind of, like, started just, like, emailing people and stuff like that. And then, yeah. And then after I moved to Europe, that was when I kind of started, like, yeah, really... I guess reaching out to people and messaging. And I have a friend in Paris, like his artist name is Louis Dong. And we kind of started like a project together, like this like soulful house label.
Okay.
And I started to get some gigs through that. And then when I moved to Amsterdam, then it kind of just grew naturally from there, which was nice. Yeah.
And how did the decision of moving to Amsterdam came on? Because of the scene, or?
It was like that. Yes, definitely because of the scene. But it was actually like quite funny because I used to live in Barcelona for a few months.
Really? Great.
Yeah.
Love Barcelona.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city. But I kind of had like a real estate situation where I guess I was living in an apartment and I lost it.
Okay.
Oh.
So I had a friend from Colombia that was living here in Amsterdam, and she offered me a place.
Okay.
And I talked it out with my label partner as well. I was like, should I move to Amsterdam? Like, and
he
it was
was
just
like,
like,
yeah,
It was just
definitely.
like, yeah, fuck it, just do it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, I mean,
The best decisions in life are the ones that are like,
like just like in that moment, right? Like, like, and so like I didn't really like know anybody here when I arrived, but man, I'm so happy I did it. It was such a good decision.
great.
Like,
Great to
I
hear
feel
that, man. Yeah.
super at home here. So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we live in Madrid, but he's from Peru,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'm
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Mexico. So,
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We met because of a master we did on music production, and one day, like in between producing and just being there, he said to me, "Oh, why don't we start making a record label, and have artists and stuff?" And we started planning it, and well, it's been kind of less than a year, and we're like trying to.
So was it like, did you guys move to Madrid to study as well, or like did you move before?
Yeah,
Or like,
well, we moved to study
Yeah, he's been there like for 5 years.
for
I
5
think.
years, yeah.
Okay.
For quite a while, yeah.
And I've been there for like a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
okay,
But
nice.
yeah, I had a whole other life in Mexico.
yeah.
So,
I was an office guy,
Okay,
and I
okay.
just said fuck it, and
Fuck it, I'm going to Spain.
Yeah.
I moved also because of COVID, like
Yeah.
all of the virtual classes were like really odd and weird and also bad. So I was like, well, what can I do? And at first I was like moving 9 months to Madrid. And in that time I said like, no, I have to stay here. This place is it's amazing. The music is taken way more like, let's say, seriously. So yeah, that was the...
Yeah. Do you think Europe takes like the music industry more seriously, or than in Australia?
I would more seriously, I guess, isn't the word I would use. I guess what I would say is like it's different. It works differently. I would say.
It works different.
Because I feel like the thing about Australia is that like I think for certain genres it does really well. Like and there's an incredible amount of talent in Australia, and I'm really happy to be from there.
Yeah.
But the thing with Australia as well, it's kind of like there is a like a glass ceiling effect as well. Like whereas a lot of artists like they'll get to a certain point in Australia and they'll feel like they need to move,
Oh, right.
but they'll either move to Europe or they'll go to America or something like this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and the thing is in Australia, I think it's very, very, very hard to like just break out and like really, really just kill it and just stay in Australia, you know what I mean?
Okay,
So I think the good thing about Europe is that you just have so many markets so close to each other.
Yeah, definitely.
You have so many countries, and that also makes touring easier. It makes like growing an audience easier. I think just because of the proximity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Australia is an amazing place for music, but I think there is also that like thing of like a lot of Australians. Yeah, they're like especially DJs. Like a shit ton of them moved to Berlin, for example.
Oh, okay, Berlin.
Like a lot of them moved to LA. Like so. Is this the kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
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 You want more in that sense, you know,
Yeah.
like I get the thing of the glass ceiling. In fact, I think you might get this a little bit. Fisher is from Australia,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's from Australia.
Just
Yeah.
having there, yeah.
Someone I've been listening to recently, my Fat something drops. I mean, okay. Fat Freddy drops. You have to.
Oh, Fat Freddy's Drop, yeah. Those guys are amazing. Those guys are, I think they're from New Zealand.
Oh, shit!
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
But,
I thought.
Yeah, I've heard their, I listened to a couple of their records, and I've heard they're incredible live.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of friends told me their live act is like out of this world.
Do you like see yourself in the future like doing a hybrid set? Because you know sometimes.
I would really love to do a hybrid set. Yeah, I think it's definitely something I'm looking to doing more of in the future. Because I think, I mean, DJing is great, but I feel like that was one thing actually I noticed in Australia when I was there a couple of months ago, is that especially in Melbourne, there's this huge movement at the moment of like instrumental electronic music where people like will just like, you know, they'll
Let's say more electronic bands, sort of.
yeah, exactly. Like where people
great.
will like be
That's
doing
great.
like house music, for example, but they'll be like, you know, like have the drum machines and they'll be singing, and then they'll
that's
have like
amazing,
instruments,
Yeah,
and then maybe
yeah.
like they'll also have CDJs as well.
Okay,
you know,
yeah. That's great.
Because your
Amazing.
tracks is like really the bass. I don't know if it's like MIDI or real, but it sounds so good, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to shout out my my homie in Argentina for that. I have a friend,
okay.
Juani, and he plays bass on pretty much all of my tracks.
Oh, really?
He's a weapon.
He's
Yeah,
Absolute
quite groovy, the man, really.
Yeah.
quite a groove.
incredible
Yeah.
bassist.
I was listening to one of your tracks that I really enjoyed. Let me tell you which one was it. It was one of your An Evening Dart. That one.
Yeah.
It was quite
Oh, thank you, man.
good. Yeah. And what would you say is one of the hardest things about maybe DJing or being a producer that people might not see? You know, maybe the time invested or something, the marketing that comes afterwards, or.
Yeah, I think both of those things you just said are really good points, actually. I think a lot of, I guess, you know, I mean, in the day and age now where, you know, like social media is very much part of like, you know, the music industry, and it's very much part of being an artist.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people don't see is like, you know, people will put, you know, I mean, artists' social media these days is their highlight reel and
Numbers.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of the time, I think what people don't see is like, like the marketing, like you have to do, like, you know, especially if you're independent, you know, like managing all of your own social media and, you know, sending out those emails and like, you know, working on your artist brand and then alongside that, like, you know, making the music as well. And, yeah, I mean, it's, and it's like, it takes a lot of time, and it's like, I think a lot of, especially if you're a producer as well, I think a lot of like producers, you know, you sit like, a lot of it is just sitting, you know, by yourself a lot of the time in front of a screen, like, and sometimes, you know, it works and sometimes it doesn't, like sometimes you're sitting there for hours and like, you know, the track you make is like, you know, not that good.
Yeah, you just hear noise at some point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It gets
exactly.
lonely sometimes as well, you know.
Yeah. It's like that whole thing, like where you like, you know, you make a banger, or like you think you make a banger in the evening and you listen to it in the morning and it sounds like shit, you know, like.
I might be like, hey, Alejandro, listen to this demo I made, no? And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of cool. And 6 hours later, I'm like, no, delete it. You know? We can do shit with this, you know, erase it.
Yeah, so I think that definitely is like, because I mean, a lot of like, I think what we see from artists is like, you know, like especially with DJs, like a lot of DJs, you know, you have like, you know, their best tracks, you know, you have like the, you know, the crowd shots, you know, and you have, you know, all of the highlights, but a lot of the time, you know, like on social media, that like really like hard process of working to get to that point is not documented, you know.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And, I feel like the overnight success thing, it's like very rarely an overnight success, you know.
We were talking about that, you know, the thing that the fear that the artist has to release that first track, thinking it has to be from a certain level to, let's say, change their lives. I think that you have to be or either Martin Garrix or something, or someone really, you know, like that doesn't happen, you know.
Yeah,
just,
because
Definitely.
Pascal said to his advice was to wait like 3 years of making music so you can like curate it and you know,
You know what works maybe, or
yeah,
suit
or
your style.
find your sound,
Mm-hmm,
which I think is, I mean, you find your sound 10 years from now, you know, like
yeah, exactly right. I think it takes a long time to, you know, find your voice, find your
Yeah.
identity, and find your style as well. I think, I think there's a lot of sounds you have to go through and explore, like before you find something that
Yeah.
feels right for you, right, or that you
Yeah,
even identify with.
and you're more the wait guy or the just release it guy, you know?
I think for me, I like when I started, I was like, I guess because I already had a bit of like, I had the background in music, so I was like, fuck it, like I'm gonna try and just like, I guess like, you know, learn this program as quick as possible and
Yeah.
try and
Yeah.
I guess leverage what I have. But yeah, I'm
Which
a bit,
was it? The Logic?
Ableton.
Ableton?
I use
Oh,
Ableton, yeah.
right away. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a bit ADHD with that. Like I think like when I make something, I'm always already thinking like, fuck, I want to like get this out like right now.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I want
yeah,
to like
definitely.
release this like
It
right
happens.
now. But yeah, a lot of the time I think it's also better to at least like show it to someone and just like, you know,
The feedback.
yeah, get the feedback, because like a lot of the time, you know, you sit listening to the same track for like, you know, hours and hours and hours at a time, and your ears get, you know, your perspective is warped,
You're
right?
tired.
Especially when you're mixing and mastering. Like,
100%, 100%. And then I think it just takes someone with, you know, fresh ears to just be like, that's fucked, or like that sounds that sounds
Yeah.
terrible, or like, you know, like
you
what
need more
what do you-
space, or I don't know.
Yeah,
or
yeah, exactly.
Whatever. How do you start your tracks? With the drums, with the bass? How do you? Well,
Usually, like these days, I'm kind of like more starting with like I've started using like breaks a lot more. I never used to use like drum breaks too much, but I
Okay.
recently, like my friend
that's a new one.
he gave me a few sample packs, and like so I've just been starting like with, you know, like finding a drum break, taking like maybe the snare out or like
Okay.
the hat
Yeah.
out, and
That's
then
a
just
good one.
like, you know, putting a few tracks
Yeah,
there.
resampling in
Yeah.
it, you know. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly, and that's been pretty good as well. But usually before, like I would just like play, like
Yeah,
I would just
of
even
course.
just get a kick and just put it on loop and then just play keys until like I found something
Yeah.
that sounded good.
Yeah.
And I
course.
found that usually like was a good way like to
Yeah, I think that's a pianist thing for you,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, definitely.
That's nice. And on the other hand, if you like, in another parallel future, if you weren't doing music, were you doing something back then in Australia, like I don't know, working or studying another thing, or you just said, let's go all in with music?
I think if I wasn't doing music and living in Australia, I would probably like be. I don't know what I would be doing. I think I would probably just be like living like just like surfing. And
Yeah.
just like, I mean, it's like, I know it's like very stereotypical. Like,
Wow,
but
Yeah, a little bit,
I would
but
probably just be like, yeah, like living in like a quiet like beach kind of like town and just like doing surfing, like
Yeah.
doing like surf instruction or something
Yeah,
like
okay,
that.
okay,
Or
okay.
yeah, and but yeah, at the moment, yeah, I guess like it's like, as you said, I think for the last few years, like I haven't like really thought much about like doing other stuff, like because it's just been like, yeah, like all in on music. Because I'm like, you know, while I'm here in Europe, like
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I may as well go all in and see what happens. You know?
yeah,
So
totally.
yeah,
That's the spirit. That's how you make it.
yeah.
And what was the first job you ever had? The surf instructor?
The first
or-
job I ever had was at a video store when
Oh,
those like
okay.
still existed.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like the DVD ones, or
Yeah, where you could go in and like you could rent like
Cars.
you could rent like video games, you could rent
Yeah.
DVDs. Like I was like working at those, like at the Blockbuster,
Yeah.
like this type of shit.
course,
Like
yeah.
that was that was my first job. Like yeah, but unfortunately they don't exist anymore. I don't
No.
think. Like there's like
Yeah,
Netflix
yeah.
just killed
Netflix
it all.
everything.
Streaming.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that was that was wild. But I got fired after like a year because I like called in sick when I wasn't sick.
Yeah.
The guy like called my parents and then they like
Yeah.
they were like,
No, he's right here.
so yeah, I got fired.
He's fine.
Yeah.
What was the last thing that inspired you? Because you know it's inspiration is something like people think like it drags you
Yeah.
in the shower or
Great
something,
question.
and sometimes it does. But
Yeah, yeah.
what was the last thing that inspired you to make a song?
The last thing that inspired me to make something, I was yeah, so I was in Paris last weekend, and I met up with a friend, and it was like during the day on Sunday, and he took me to this event, which was like it was just like this thing called like Première Scène, which was like all these artists, like it was giving them like a stage to perform for the first time, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And like it was crazy because like, you know, it was like your first performance ever. They were like, it was like one band and like two like kind of soul, like maybe like, you know, R&B type of artists.
Yeah.
And bro, they were like all insanely good, like insanely good. Like
That's great. That was here?
that was in Paris.
Oh, okay, now, yeah.
It was like they'd been like performing for like years and years and years, like yeah. And so I was just like, holy shit, like this is kind of like crazy, like you know how much talent there is. So
Yeah,
like seeing that, I was I was kind of inspired like after that. So like I called my friend and I was like, yeah, let's go to the studio tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to make some music, you know.
Yeah, you have to go out, right, to inspire, like not as a VIP member behind the booth. Like you have to go out and listen to a good DJ to inspire yourself,
That tends to
Absolutely,
happen.
yeah.
That
or a
tends to
good
happen,
band, or you know, like a
yeah.
movie.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like it can come from anywhere, right? Like it can really like even just like walking down the street like on a nice day, or just like, you know, talking to some like person at the bar. Yeah, that's one thing I've been really liking doing more and more and more is just like seeing as many DJ sets as I possibly can, because like it's also such a good way to discover music as
Of
well.
course, yeah,
It's
no,
such
totally.
like and also, yeah, just get inspired, like, especially, like, when you see, like, a really, really, like, good DJ that knows how to, like, work the crowd, that knows how to, like, you know, play, like, a really, like, just, like, I don't know, great set, like, yeah, that's super inspiring as well, I feel.
What's your favorite time to play a set? Like
Late night?
warm up, afters, and then I love afters.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I feel like
Warm-ups maybe as well.
warm-ups are super fun. I
They're
really
really
like.
good.
I really like playing. Yeah, I did a warm-up set a couple of weeks here in Amsterdam, and I feel like it's really good because like it's in some ways I feel one of the most, or if not the most important set, because it establishes the vibe of the night. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Okay, yeah.
And I feel like if someone does the warm-up set super well, then like the vibe of the night, the other DJs can really just like attach to this and just like take it, you know, in a really good direction.
Yeah. The art of a warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. And that was good because I also get to play a lot of records I never normally play like on a warm-up, right? Like I have like all this like much more like, you know, chill, like soul, jazz, like Latin, like Afro kind of stuff, like that.
Yeah, I've noticed that too in your tracks. You have a lot of like tribal drums and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the
that kind of like percussive like stuff is so nice, man.
Also in, I think, Down to Dusk. No, sorry.
Do you use vocals?
Do I?
Like use vocals on songs, or would you like to? Like.
Yeah. From time to time I do. I mean, like, I guess the thing for me is like usually, I find with vocals is like I have to really, really, really like the singer. Like I have to really like get super excited by their voice, because I have, you know, worked with a few vocalists in the past, and I always find like the way, I don't know, because I'm terrible at writing lyrics. Like it's not a strong point of mine at all.
Yeah, well.
So I feel like the vocalists I always like to work with are the ones where I can just give them the instrumental, and then they just come back with like, you know, they write the lyrics and they just like perform it, and then like they can send it to me, and I'm like, all right, okay, that sounds amazing, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, lately, I guess especially lately, I've just been like producing using a lot of like vocal samples or like vocal chops. I find, which I wasn't really doing before. Like so, yeah.
I think also that's kind of hard, you know, like finding a sample, let's say on Splice that really fits the vibe of the song is like really hard, you know, because you have a ton of.
They're very cheesy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you get a lot of ton of weird things.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the like with Splice I try like as much to avoid, I guess, at least with vocals. Like I use a lot of drums from Splice. I feel like the drums in Splice are crazy good.
Yeah.
But yeah, vocals I like. there's times where I just hear tracks and I'm like, is that a fucking Spice vocal? Like, in the track, where I just hear it like, just out like at a bar or
I've
like
used
at the
that,
gym or something, like I'm like, wait, I fucking heard that before. Like,
It happens a lot. In Madrid also, like they just search for Latin and
Latin vocal like.
And how do you deal with expectations, not for someone else, but let's say from even yourself, or it can happen that you release a song that it's really good, and you're like, can I really top this, or how can you deal with that? How do you deal with that, or yeah?
I think the way I try and deal with that the most.
The pressure.
Yeah, is like one of the things I realized when I'm having a conversation with a friend about a couple of months ago is that especially with production, I feel like with a lot of things is that I feel like a lot of the times when my music hasn't where I haven't produced stuff that I thought was the best that I could do was when I was trying too hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I've released on like a fair few labels at this point, and the funny thing is like every time like a label has like asked me to send them music, and I've always been rejected by them every time I've sent them music. When I've just sent a label music, without like any expectations, without anything, just producing it because I wanted to produce it, without being like, oh fuck, like it needs to be this certain label sound.
Yeah.
It needs to like fit this like certain genre. It needs to like sound like this. Yeah. I mean that's when I've always gotten accepted. That's like when I've always got the record signed. So that was a realization I had recently. It was just like stop. Trying so hard, or stop being like it needs to be like this. Like just fucking just make the music.
Don't please other people, and just like if it sounds good to you, maybe it's good enough.
Exactly. And like that's the thing. I feel like if you're making something in the studio and you're like hearing it and you're like, fuck, I'm feeling something from this. Like I'm moving to this. Like this feels right. There's definitely going to be other people who will feel that way as well,
Of course, yes.
It may be a lot, it may not be that many, but if it feels right to you, I think that's definitely the most important thing for sure.
¿Cómo vamos? ¿Bien? Okay.
Has your sound changed over time?
Oh yeah,
I was just checking the questions.
Definitely.
Them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man, definitely. It's definitely changed over time. I feel like at the start I was very much like making, very much just more housey records, and then I think I got more soulful, and now these days, since moving to Amsterdam, I feel like the stuff I'm making now is a bit heavier, especially this year. Now I realize now I'm making shit that's faster, almost between 127, 130 BPM now. I never used to do that at all. I think I would just be fucking 124 every time at Ableton, and then if it worked, it worked.
Yeah, mine opens at 124 by default,
Yeah.
You work on, let's say, 120, 120 something, 122 BPM? Or?
Yeah, so usually, I guess it's, I've kind of gone in two directions, because I was, doing a shit ton of, jazz house, I was, really, into jazz house, that really, chill kind of stuff.
Well, it's great.
It's really Berlioz's, style kind of house.
Yeah, we were just talking about that as well.
Yeah. And for that, I think it's nice to have that slower, because I think if you have this at 135, it's gonna be whoa.
Whoa, come down, man.
Yeah. Maybe it would work. I don't know, but
with your rumble kick,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they don't have that much bass, right?
But I think these days I'm much more in the mood to make records for the dance floor.
Yeah.
Make records that DJs can play out, and make records that you can play at peak time and this kind of thing. So and the thing is in Amsterdam as well, I think there's the house scene here is I think there's a lot of people doing really fast music.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of the house DJs I guess the funky soulful ones, even I've noticed here it's 125, 130, this is a range a lot of people sit in.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of been a big influence. and like, you know, to go a bit faster, to go a bit more like peak time. So
Yeah. Oh, of course, always have as Alejandro says, a weapon.
yeah,
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
secret weapon. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And how do you see like yourself evolving next? You know, what's the next step?
I
The
think-
life set, the
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say, yeah, the next step for me, I think, yeah, the biggest realization was kind of what we were doing. But
Oh,
Yeah.
We.
are they all good? Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I guess like what we were just talking about before, in terms of, yeah, I guess like making records that are more, I guess, peak time and more for the dance floor.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the vibe I'm feeling now is like,
okay.
yeah, like, but also just like whatever comes as well. Because that's one thing I've realized is just like overthinking it and being like, I should follow this path or I should
Yeah.
do this is also like, on a lot of the time, like, yeah, giving yourself unnecessary expectations. I think us as artists, like a lot of the time when we make the best stuff is like when we're not overthinking it and when we're just
Yeah.
letting it come and like letting it flow. So that's kind of, I guess like my direction I'd like to go in, like
Yeah.
for the future and just
Yeah.
like evolve in that way, like organically and just like see where it goes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like the tracks that will release are the ones that should really. I mean, they have. I don't know. They have their own lives. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
for
exactly.
me.
Exactly. I think every track like that we make is you know, a reflection of where you are at that point in your life, like what you were doing or like how you were feeling or like, you know, what really like made sense to you. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's yeah, it's a special thing about it, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
Well, thank you for having us, and well, yeah, I hope you have liked the questions.
Thank
the-
you, thank you so
having me.
much for being here and.
It was nice to chat to you
It
guys.
has
It
been
was an absolute
a quite
pleasure.
odd setting, but I think it's kind of nice, you know. So,
Ustedes saben que hablo español.
¿en serio?
Sí.
Wow.
No, pues sí
Tengo familia
tiene.
de Argentina.
Ah, wow.
Ok, hablamos en español.
So, yeah, it can be a crazy place at times.
Sí, 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 entiendo todo. Es que, bueno, solía vivir en Buenos
you live in
Aires por
Paris?
mucho tiempo.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Ya le salió todo el acento argentino.
Paris is
sí.
crazy.